Welcome, Sens Talk.
Russell winds in, feeds it back across the track and scores! Brady Tkachuk makes it 2-0. Giroux, hit alone, scores!
Tim Stutzel across, Tkachuk score! The captain, Brady Tkachuk, buries it with 1:18 to go.
See you later. Go, Sens, go. Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brandon Plant, and I am your host. Tonight, Ottawa took on Erik Karlsson, still weird to say this, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Oof, I hate that. I cannot believe Erik Karlsson is a Pittsburgh Penguin, but at the same time, Kyle Dubas is their GM. He's a big-time Sens fan, so it shouldn't be that shocking. But regardless, still very weird to see Erik Karlsson in a Pens jersey. And by the way, just a quick mention about Karlsson. Didn't really do well today. It was interesting to see him on the penalty kill for Pittsburgh as well, but he took a massive slash to Matthew Joseph's back at the end of the first period, which made him leave the game. Luckily, he did return, but very dirty. Still a big fan of EK65, but was not impressed with that. Now, speaking of the Pittsburgh Penguins, continuing on with them, Tristan Jarry would start a net for them, but let's just say he wouldn't last too long. And now let's get to the Ottawa Senators, because there's a lot to discuss. Firstly, Joonas Korpisalo starts a net for Ottawa after a strong performance in the last game. And let's get into it, because there's a lot of injury updates. Firstly, Erik Brannstrom, as you all know, took a big hit last game against the Islanders. Fell on the ice. His head hit the ice rather hard. It's a concussion, was confirmed today by DJ Smith. He's back in Ottawa. Wish nothing but the best for Erik Brannstrom. Take all the time you need. You don't want to mess with a head injury. Those things are very, very complicated, and your life is more important than the game. So take all the time you need. Hopefully you're back soon. But once again, concussions can be tricky. So all the best for Erik Brannstrom. Now, you would think that's where it would end for the injury update. Obviously, Artem Zub did not play this game as well, as I mentioned yesterday, or the other game recap, pardon me. But we found out yesterday that Tom Chabot took a shot to the wrist and will be out 4 to 6 weeks with a fractured hand. He was transferred to the long-term injury reserve. The hits just keep on coming for the Ottawa Senators, as Hudson Bacho will be out at least for a month with a fractured hand. So Ottawa now is missing 3 out of their 6 top defensemen. Unbelievable. But every team has to go through adversity, and the Sens better respond to this adversity. They still got Chychrun, they still got Sanderson, and they got some guys to call up as well that can make an impact. Speaking of those guys, it's Tyler Kleven, the Klev Bomb. This guy is a physical specimen. Massive defenseman, top prospect for the Ottawa Senators. He was recalled. And Nikolas Matinpalo, after a strong preseason, also recalled for his first ever NHL game. Congratulations to Matinpalo. And we'll talk about him in the post-game notes. I was rather impressed, and I'm glad he got an opportunity, because Matinpalo was fantastic in the preseason. He was also pretty good at the IIHF World Championships for Finland. We brought him over here from Europe to give him an opportunity, and I'm glad we did just that, because he did very, very well today. And before we get into the recap itself, I just want to mention this rather quickly, and I'll have an update on this in the next few days. But Elliot Freeman at the second intermission mentioned that in the next few days, the National Hockey League will announce a punishment to the Senators for the Dadonov no-trade list fiasco of a couple years ago. Now look, we don't exactly know what the punishment might entail, but it has been rumored that it might be a first-round pick. Now, I will have a video on this in the next few days when the announcement is made by the National Hockey League. But let me just say this. If the National Hockey League punishes the Ottawa Senators more than the Chicago Blackhawks were punished for covering up sexual assault to Kyle Beach, a former player on the Hawks, that is an absolute disgrace. Now, I don't want to jump the gun just now, but it has been rumored by Martian, who's broken stories before. So it's not just a random person putting that out there. Martian has put out reliable information in the past. If it is a first-round pick that the Ottawa Senators are punished for this fiasco, I mean, the National Hockey League has to do more than just giving their head a shake. I mean, what an absolute disgrace that would be. But we'll see what happens. I'll have an update for you on that in the next few days for sure. Now let's get into the first period of play. And 5 minutes in, after the Pittsburgh Penguins are all over the Ottawa Senators, it's the Senators getting on the board first. 5 minutes in, Jacob Chychrun keeps the puck in twice on the power play after the Pens failed to clear it. He feeds Claude Giroux, G-Money, alone on the left hash mark, finds Ridley Gregg out front. Bang! 1-0 Senators off the power play goal. Ridley Gregg from Claude Giroux. It's a connection made in heaven. We see it so often on the power play. And Ottawa leads 1-0 just 5 minutes in. And we continue on 15 minutes into the game now, 10 minutes after the first goal. Pittsburgh continues to dominate. Joonas Korpisalo continues to dominate the Pittsburgh Penguins. And with about 5 minutes left in the first period of play, Tim Stützle in the neutral zone feeds Claude Giroux. Giroux enters the zone and lets Tkachuk sneak his way through the left hash mark into the offensive zone. Al Capitano rips it low glove side to double the Sens lead at 2-0. Ottawa, going to the second period, leads 2-0 when they were outshot 21-7. They were outshot by 3-1. Unbelievable that the Sens come out up by 2, but they do. It's one of those games, and Ottawa is finally getting some bounces going their way. Brady Tkachuk won't be the last time you'll hear his name tonight, by the way, with a massive goal there to make it 2-0 Senators. And by the way, Korpisalo, like I just mentioned, 21 saves in the first period of play. We'll talk about him in the post-game notes, but my goodness. Joonas Korpisalo, what a performance. And to all the naysayers and all the haters, frankly, on Joonas Korpisalo, just stay quiet now. Just stay quiet. I mean, come on. Give this guy an opportunity. Back-to-back solid games for him. Let's go to the second period of play. And 4 minutes in, Jake Sanderson is dancing around the zone. He feeds Hamonic, and Hamonic hammers a shot. 3-0, but unfortunately, you can see on your screen here by inches, maybe by only an inch. It's called back for offside by a hair. And the Sens up 3-0, now back down to only up by 2. But guess what? Puck don't lie. 2 minutes later, Matthew Joseph drops it off to Ridley Gregg, who feeds Dominik Kubalik. 3-0 Senators. Beautiful one-time goal from Kubalik. His first as an Ottawa Senator. And of course, it's off a patented one-time shot. What a snipe past Tristan Jarry. And the Ottawa Senators lead for real this time. 3-0. Puck don't lie. And that makes the Pittsburgh Penguins pull Tristan Jarry, and Magnus Hellberg comes in for Pittsburgh, the former Ottawa Senator. I didn't know he was on Pittsburgh. Really cool to see. And with about a couple minutes left in the second period of play, and Ottawa and Pittsburgh are trading chances at this point. Ottawa has really calmed down the game. With about a couple minutes left in the second period of play, the Sens failed to clear the puck a couple times. Crosby, for some reason, somehow, is left alone out front by Travis Hamonic and Jake Sanderson. Sanderson doesn't tie up Crosby, and of course he tips it home to cut the lead to 2. It's a 3-1 game. Not much Korpisalo could do there as you go to the third period of play. Only up by 2 now. The Sens desperately need this win. Cannot go down 3-5 going into the next game at home. So look, Ottawa needs this win. They need to end the 3-game losing streak. And here we go to the third period of play. The Sens, by the way, have scored first in 6 of their 8 games this year, including tonight, of course. They've won 3 out of those 6 games. They're looking to make that 4 tonight. So let's see if they can do it with 20 minutes to go. Ottawa, they pretty much have this one sealed for the first 15 or so minutes of the third period of play. Pittsburgh gets some good opportunities, don't get me wrong. Joonas Korpisalo gobbles them up, but Ottawa at this point completely has complete control of the game. And then with about 6 minutes left in the game, Tim Stützle takes a shot, Hellberg makes a save, Brady Tkachuk dances out front, roofs it, and Ottawa extends the lead to 4-1. Al Capitano double dips. It's a 2-goal game for the captain, and Brady Tkachuk brings Ottawa back up by 3. It's a 4-1 game. And then 31 seconds later, Vladdy Tarasenko feeds Drake Batherson on the breakaway. An unreal one-handed backhand tuck. 5-1 Senators. That one is disgusting. I'm going to run to the bathroom and take a shower after this video because that goal was disgusting. As the Ottawa Senators lead 5-1, Drake Batherson desperately needed that goal after a rough start to the year, to be honest with you. Incredible strength in his wrist to lift that puck on the backhand in tight. And then after that, you would think that's it, but unfortunately with about 30 seconds left, for some reason, the Penguins have their top line out there, and then they would cut the lead to 3. It's 5-2, but that doesn't matter. 2 points is 2 points. As your Sens win 5-2 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. A massive win, a crucial win, as Ottawa's back to 500. They're now 4-4-0 on the year. A massive win for the Ottawa Senators, as Brady Tkachuk has his 18th career multi-goal game, the 8th most in Sens history. It's his third 2-goal game of the year. Al Capitano is dragging this team on his back. What a performance tonight. A nice celly as well on that 4th one on the night for Ottawa. But guess what? Brady Tkachuk, the captain, leads by example. Another massive game here tonight. Same with Claude Giroux, who of course fed Tkachuk for that second goal of the game, his first of the night. In that first period of play. And Claude Giroux against the New York Islanders as well was leading this team into the battle. I can't believe he's an Ottawa Senator. Still, to be honest with you, it's still a dream come true that he wanted to come home. But what a blessing it's been, because this guy leads by example and truly makes everyone around him better. Remember, the Ottawa Senators are one of the youngest teams in the National Hockey League. Claude Giroux, by far, is a veteran, and he makes his team that much better with his experience, his skill, and his demeanor. So great game by those two. Speaking of great games, Joonas Korpisalo, got to give a clap there for him. 39 saves tonight. To all the doubters, shh. Stop doubting Joonas Korpisalo. That's now back-to-back solid performances by Joonas Korpisalo. He straight up stole this game for the Ottawa Senators tonight. Dominated the Pittsburgh Penguins. I would expect him to start on Wednesday. But Joonas Korpisalo living up to that contract. And once again, I was never concerned about Joonas Korpisalo's game. He's playing in front of a new team, new defense, new system, new structure. It was always going to take a few games to settle in. It looks like he settled in big time. A great performance tonight, stealing the win for the Ottawa Senators in a crucial game. Now, Nikolas Matinpalo, last thing I'll mention, looked fantastic tonight in his NHL debut. Now, when I say NHL debut, I say that loosely because, look, it was his NHL debut, don't get me wrong, but the guy played pro hockey in Finland, in Europe for a few years. That's a tough league to play in. He's represented Finland at the IIHF World Championships as well. This is a guy that, not shockingly, stepped in and looked solid. So I was very impressed by Matinpalo. Almost even got his first NHL point tonight. Hellberg robbed Joseph out front, unfortunately, midway through the game. But just wanted to give a bit of a tip to the cap to Nikolas Matinpalo for a fantastic effort. Now, as I already kind of alluded to, Ottawa in that first period of play was dominated, but they really cleaned it up afterwards. I was really impressed by the pushback, of course, from Giroux and Tkachuk, but the entire team as a whole, especially, look, defensively speaking, Korpisalo still had to make some big stops, but they were far easier compared to the first period. Now, doesn't mean he didn't make some insane stops in the second and third period, but Ottawa definitely cleaned up their act in the second and third period of play. As they get a huge win, they take down the Penguins 5-2, a team in the Penguins that Ottawa will absolutely be competing for potentially a wild card spot. So that's a massive win, especially to bring them back to 500. Now, the next Sens game is on Thursday against the Los Angeles Kings in Ottawa at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll see if Cam Talbot starts that one. Should be interesting. But besides that, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. As always, this is a massive win. It's great to be back in the win column. Let's make it 2 in a row on Thursday. Besides that, I'll probably see you all very, very soon for that Dadonov punishment update. We'll definitely put out a video for that, so stay tuned for that. Besides that, I'll see you all soon. Go Sens, go.